What's up guys? I'm Corinne, I'm the ant scientist from the video before, and today I'm going to show you guys how you can observe ant behavior that happens in your own backyard. The easiest way to find ants is to find their nest. What you can see here is an anthill, and this is the home of this ant colony. These ants, who are working hard to fix up their little anthill, are the sterile workers in this colony. Their only job is to fix up the nest for their queen, who's the one who can reproduce. In general, all worker ants are female. Males are generally unimportant to the colony and only exist to reproduce. Ants can live in many different places, such as underground, in anthills, up in trees, and under logs. If you find ant nests in your area, see if you can observe the workers trying to fix up their nest. For example, this little worker here looks like she's picking up a piece of sand to add to her anthill. But if you want to observe foraging or navigation behavior, then you're going to have to go farther from the nest. It's harder to observe because ants are much smaller than their nests, but if you look around and try to track movement of small little critters in the grass, you'll probably find them. The job of a forager ant, as you may remember, is to collect food. Sometimes you're able to just see this naturally, for example, if you're outside at a picnic, like I was. But the easiest way to observe this is by giving ants food yourself. In this case, I saw an ant walking around and was like, that's a forager! So I decided to drop some crumbs of cookie on the ground and see what she would do with it. Unfortunately, in this case, this particular ant didn't seem to like cookies, or maybe didn't recognize them as food at all. She kind of just walked away. Sometimes ants will just walk away and they're actually going to get their friends because the crumbs are too big for them to pick up. You'll know this if they drag their butt on the ground, which is called a gaster, because they're actually spreading their pheromone trail. But in this case, she was not doing this. She was just walking away. This colony, however, seemed to love the cookies. They have great taste. And in watching them enjoy the cookies, I got to observe some pretty cool navigation behavior. I especially loved watching this one ant try to help another ant pick up a big crumb while being completely owned by this big buff ant who was able to pick up the huge crumb and also the other ant. This buff ant, as I like to call her, was walking backwards to pick up this big crumb, which is actually very common when ants pick up something big. But what's special about what she was doing is that she was not only walking backwards, she was actually looking where she was going, as you can see in this repeat clip. This is a great example of how ants navigate visually, because if they don't look to see where they're going while they're walking backwards, like this ant right here, they will walk in circles. One of the most interesting ant behaviors that I actually didn't know about until really recently is ant wars. If you've ever looked outside and seen a big group of ants for seemingly no reason, probably they're fighting over territory. When ants are interacting with each other in big groups like this, and there's no obvious food source present, they're probably fighting. At a glance, these ants just seem to be running around randomly, but if you look closely, some of them are engaging in combat. Actually, these two ants are fighting to the death. As you can see, these two ants are using their pincers to grapple each other and wrestle each other to the ground, and one of them is much more successful. When ants aren't fighting, they're smelling each other with their antennae to see who's their sister and who's their enemy. Ants fight over the territory that they can forage on, and their battles are deadly. This is because ants are eusocial creatures. This essentially means that each individual ant's life isn't that important because only the queen can reproduce. These ants are fighting for their queens, and they will give up their lives for her. Now that's dedication. So if you see something like this on the street, look closely, because a whole war may be happening beneath your feet. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Join our community and share tips and ideas by following the link to the website, which is below. Bye crew, see you next time!